go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. Through the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, the highway, and in the driveway. Isn't that strange? Cause I'm trying through the climb, I ain't like pain. You never hear the bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's like the key ingredient is belief. They'll see with the negativity, but I just gotta let that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never ran sitting on, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You can flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a pain. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past, start a plan, and you find a door. Open it up, and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 still go, 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 slow, still go, go, there's no hope, still go, I never answer to no, I still go, go.
Yo, what's up? What's up with it, man? What's happening with it? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I gifted 5 memberships. I saw Opal get one. Who else got one? Did we get some people in the bushes? Buffy1162, welcome. Bonkers Babe, Damn Yell, Dark versus Light. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's it. Five memberships. You're welcome. So today, kind of interesting how I found this, and I think this probably was talked about on YouTube before. If it hasn't, I'd be crazy surprised. I had never heard about this until last night. I found it, and I actually reached out to this guy and everything. Interesting how I found it, and it's crazy. This little space we share, YouTube. Sebastian Rogers, man, his birthday was yesterday. 16 years old. Got a lot of people who flock to him in this little community here. Some of these people, man, there's definitely some weirdos. Definitely some weirdos. You know what I'm saying? In my humble opinion. But we've been kind of unpeeling the banana on something like crazy that happens here. I talked about it when I did that live with JLR and Magnolia, when there was links to the that guy that was running for Senate and the fake essay and rape allegations and all that ties to her working back with Project Veritas and all that. You know, there's definitely paid agitators here in the community. Y'all been following the channel a long time. Y'all know this. So there's links to this as well. at least in my humble opinion, is what I found here last night. But what I want to tell you guys tonight, and a lot of people, there's no way that this has not been talked about on YouTube. I'd be really surprised, but a lot of people who watch it, they're going to be hearing it for the first time. So even if it's been discussed, I didn't do it. You know what I mean? But there's a guy named Doug Poppa. This guy has a podcast. This guy literally served in our military. He was a police officer. He went undercover, and he is a journalist. And he was cracking the case of, guess what? A 16-year-old girl who was getting, he was doing a lot of investigative research on a celebrity, Sylvester Stallone, who was, there's essay allegations all over it. I'm gonna let you guys hear it. But somebody got in the way of that. It was Nick the Hat. Nick the Hat, for some odd reason, he didn't have the same advocacy that he has for Sebastian Rogers that you see here on YouTube. No. He tried to smear this man, smear this guy in the military, this police officer. It's crazy. When you see Dog the Bounty Hunter, he holds this guy to such a high, standard. And everybody has to pass to understand that. But I've always knew with this guy, Nick the Hat, this Sebastian Rogers case, about the racism stuff and all this. I've shared Chronicles of the Shady, had it. But I never knew he harassed his this is all court documented stuff I'm about to tell you people. This is not my opinion. What I talk about right now. He harassed his neighbors. Harassment. Isn't that crazy? Betty harassing. This guy harassed his neighbors by calling prostitutes to their house and then calling the police on them. Yeah, that happened. But why would one get involved? Why would one stop anybody raising the alarm on SA of a 16-year-old little girl? Such a powerful person like Sylvester Stallone. Well, Nick the Hat did that. Who did he get in the way? And he got directly in the way of an ex-person who served in our military, law enforcement officer. Yeah, this guy had the channel and all. How did I get here? Have you heard about this, chat? Have you heard about this? I just want to read the room. Cool, Cynthia. Awesome, Sky Maiden. It's always cool when you guys come out the bushes. Don't go back, hang out. So no answers. My chat behind or what? There's way too many people in the bushes with only limited people commenting. That's interesting. That number's interesting for the amount of people writing comments. So I take it you haven't heard of this? What's up, Michael Blade? How are you? Not a problem. Wow. There's no way I'm breaking this, but I will be more than happy to raise the alarm on this scumbag Nick the Hat who attaches himself to Sebastian Rogers of what he did to this man. And I reached out to this man to follow up on this story, but there's a lot going on here, people, and I need people to pay attention. I'm not going to be one of these channels that's going to continue play a video and then pause it and then put my input. You guys need to hear this. We keep seeing the green hoodie theory. Where's this coming out? I can't stand any true crime YouTubers that harass people. It's a huge turnoff for me. I didn't like Nick the Hat from all the racism stuff. Again, everybody has a past, right? So it's not that I'm going to excuse the whole racism stuff. That's not what I'm going to do today. I have talked about that in the past. Like I said, I shared Chronicles of the Shady's a link on to that. So there's no need for me to repeat it, right? Because there's other things we need to know about. And that's what I want to show you guys. Now, how did I get here? How did I find this? And how the hell? And I'll show you why I'm wondering why no one's talked about this on YouTube before. Let's get to all that right now. So how did I get here? How did I get here? Let me show you. Last night, I made a post right here. I've been praising this group for a lot of months now. This would be the Sebastian Rogers group in Reddit. And I actually posted this. I took a screenshot of this and I posted the link last night in my community section, right after I did the live about Justin. And it's talking about, it has now come, it says, the group says, Nick the Bullshitter just caught again. It has now come out from SF investigates that the green hoodie guy is just another self-promoting false narrative concocted by Nick the Hat. KP was parked near the takeout window, and there's where a lot of cars parked. When KP and Sebastian approached their vehicle, an elderly man in a green hoodie was walking between KP's vehicle and the one next to it. He briefly stopped and turned sideways to allow KP to pass by him, and then continued into the restaurant. Nefarious. So this I posted, but in this group, I found this link to this video, and people, trigger warning. This man, I want everybody to subscribe to this man that I'm going to be playing his stuff tonight. I really want everybody to subscribe to this guy. Okay. So I'm going to drop this in the link that this is on my, actually, I'm not going to do that. This post I just put on that I was just showing is on my community page. Before I play this, yes, well, wait till you see this. Wait till you guys see this. This guy is a complete dirtbag. Who orders prostitutes to their neighbor's house? This is court documented. Somebody on the stand testified to that. But wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. So this is what I want to go to first. So this guy, I will drop this. I want everybody to subscribe, but let's have a listen, shall we? This guy's name is Doug Poppa. Again, he's been on Tucker Carlson. He's an accredited journalist. Just give me 1 second. Let me get the facts completely right about this. Investigative journalist, U.S. Army vet, law enforcement officer, criminal investigation, U.S. Homeland Security, Director of Security Surveillance, 350 plus articles. He's written a lot for the Baltimore Post-Examiner. You'll have to remember that. Now, listen to what Nick the Hat did to this man. This man's just trying to get his truth out. But this changes my whole view on this scumbag. I'm going to skip to 11 minutes and 30 seconds. And there's no need for me to talk. Let's have a listen, shall we? Let's just have a listen.
He could have ended the careers of any of the 10 supervisors in the Delaware County Adult Probation Office. He could have sparked racial unrest. He could have sparked violence. He didn't care, unquote. Delaware County Detective Edmund Pisani, spelled Pisani, also testified at the trial. Pisani said he was familiar with Hatzotztathau from a 2015 investigation in which he harassed his neighbors by repeatedly sending prostitutes to their door through an escort service, then calling the police on them. Pisani said Hatzotztathau used the same racially charged language in that case, stating, quote, he said, "I like to watch ends get locked up and more ends are going to get in trouble." Hatzotztathau pleaded.
I can't say Nick's last name. Nick the Hat, felon, racist, fake news reporter, fraud, liar, and still in prison. This is 2 years ago, people. Why did I ask you guys if you've heard about this? Well, here's why. Let's go to the comments. I see a lot of creators down here. Let me just read some. I see Nerdy Addict. I see a lot of moderators from chats. Lippy Clips, Nerdy Addict, Chronicles of the Oblivious, Dolly Vision. There goes one of my people. So there's no way that someone has talked about this, or they're scared to. This is all court documented receipts tonight, people. I mean, wait till we get there. But what blows my mind is, like, Sebastian turned 16 yesterday. This guy, if you look at the YouTube, this guy was tight with Betty and JLR at one point. We'll get there at the end. So right there, total turnoff for me. I'm not one of these people who dislikes Betty, but then I ride JLR's cock. No, that JLR's a scumbag. They're both super dangerous, and so is this guy. We can joke and stuff on the channel, but it's serious time today, guys. This guy got done really dirty. This is somebody that we all respect. Nobody should smear a man like this with what he's done in his background. But with that being said, what is this about? Why was there a smear? Let's go to, let's just skip I'll let him tell it.
There would also be a restitution hearing in the future. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, why am I talking about this guy? Okay, well, because in July of 2018, Nick the Dirtbag, as I call him, who I never met, published a libelous article on his YC News website, trashing my reputation, my name, and my work history for decades. Apparently, he was upset with some articles I wrote on Sylvester Stallone that were published by the Baltimore Post-Examiner. Now that he is a convicted felon for attempting to ruin the reputation of others, I would say that he has destroyed his integrity.
So, this man, again, he's been on Tucker Carlson. There's multiple journalists. There's all receipts on this, people. There's multiple journalists like telling how good of a job this guy does. He's got undercover, again, military, police, undercover. He was working a thing on Sylvester Stallone about Stallone and the bodyguard, and they were essaying a 16-year-old girl. Now, this is going back in the 80s, but imagine I'm in my 40s, okay? So Stallone in his 40s, okay? I'm in my 40s. I had no business looking at a 16-year-old girl, right? Stallone and his bodyguards allegedly, actually, there's court documents on this, people. He not only was uncovering this, really digging into it, but Stallone, yeah, Rocky, his sister, there's court documents on this. His sister also, claims some weird behavior. There's even some civil monetary value behind that. He uncovered it. He covered this. Okay, he covered this not as a YouTuber with Dog the Bounty Hunter, but as a journalist. Nick the Hat then calls him crazy. Starts saying that there's problems in his marriage. He's obsessed. No. And that's not normal. If there's somebody in your neighborhood and they're doing something weird, or if there's questionable behavior with a 16-year-old, you don't smear the person who is putting a red dot on their house or raising the alarm on that. That makes you the weirdo. But that's exactly what happened. It's exactly what happened. But again, I don't want anybody to come off like this is my opinion. And I told you there's a lot of receipts. So let's get to that part. I'm going to go to right about here and just let it rip.
Statu, who is also known as Nick the Hat. I did some checking into the background of Nick the Hat and discovered that, not surprisingly, I might add, that he's a convicted criminal. In 2015, he pleaded guilty in Delaware County, Pennsylvania court to harassment committed repeatedly in an anonymous manner and false report, falsely incriminating another, and was placed on probation, according to the court records. So much for the character and credibility of Nick the Hat.
Okay, again, I'm not going to be focusing on the racist stuff. Not to excuse it, but we're here for a different reason today.
Prior arrest and convictions. In the summer of 2019, Nick the Hat was in the headlines of the Pennsylvania media as follows, quote, Nick the Hat arraigned on racist email hoax, other charges. Quote, Delaware County District Attorney says man allegedly faked racist email from county employee and posed as New York Times and Good Morning America journalist. Quote, Pennsylvania man Nicholas Hatziastu busted for impersonating journalist. Quote.
Play nice. They knew about this. What's weird is after, and I have to let this play. I'm gonna let you guys hear all of it. What's weird is like I learned this last night. I knew about the racist emails and stuff. I did know that. And I listen, I know that he's tight with Bullhorn Betty and JLR. It says a lot right there. I've heard Betty say that he owes her like $300, this and that. And I've been telling people about this paid agitators. Look, Betty is in the true crime community because she used to agitate events politically. Okay, JLR was the one who got her involved in the Brian Laundrie case. I literally witnessed and saw them sell an interview of Brian Laundrie's sister to TMZ. Then I saw when Roberta Laundrie finally came out. There's a viral clip where Betty's yelling at, actually it was the father, I'm sorry. He went to get his mail, I believe. It's about a 10-second clip. You know, they weren't coming out for a long time. Finally, they come out. It might have even been back when they got from a store. I forget. It was like walking up and down a driveway. That's it. They sold that. I remember asking Betty, like, what are you doing? It was so weird to me that you're selling a vid, but this is something that they've been doing. I did a live a while back. I don't know how many months now about Magnolia and the ties. This lady literally was involved with it wasn't a senator, someone running for the Senate. Well, wouldn't you know, there's a sexual harassment claims now. You know, the whole politically, mess around with me, and then the abortion thing because it's politics. Is people get paid, man. I don't know where this comes into play, but it's weird. It's weird to watch this guy like taking pictures with Bill Cosby after he's convicted of those things. And it's weird that he would attack. Why would you attack this guy raising the alarm on Sylvester? Maybe somebody, I got a guy that knows a guy. He'll make him look crazy. One could only guess. I don't have court documents on that. That is my opinion. Well, not the first half with JLR and Betty. I don't know where this guy comes in. But to your comment, I'm watching Dog the Bounty Hunter praise this guy on almost every interview. A couple of months back, he's purposely like bringing him up. Oh yeah, my buddy Nick. Yeah, my partner Nick. Yeah, he's a good guy. Great guy.
Man to stand trial on charges he forged email. Published story claiming probation officer is a racist. Wow. Can all that be true? Nick the Hat publishing false stories about people? Couldn't be. Quote, prosecutors said he has a rap sheet that includes...
He's getting off the racist stuff. Again, I'm not excusing it, but I'm trying to get to the new stuff. So just work through it. Should be right
using
now.
Forged paperwork to obtain a vehicle license plate that identifies him as a journalist. I will identify him as Nick the Lion Dirtbag, who has zero credibility. According to Delaware County court records, Nick the Liar is facing 17 criminal counts, including felony charges of tampering with public records / information and forgery, altering writing.
Wow.
Good luck, Nick. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. You will be hearing from me again in the future. Obviously, Nick the Hat was not happy with the stories I wrote on Stallone, for reasons I do not know. Regardless, he targeted me and published an untrue and libelous story that he refuses to take down. If there is an attorney in the Philadelphia area who would like to contact me, feel free to do so. In 2015, I obtained legal documents from a source concerning a secret settlement agreement.
So here's receipts on, so this guy used to write for the Baltimore Post-Examiner. Okay, this is like literally his articles, right? This video is very long, and I skipped a lot about Nick. I'll go back to the chat and see if you guys want to hear some of the stuff that I skipped. But this is like, why would somebody push back on what? Answer yourself a normal question. And please don't come in here on team this or team that. No. Don't do that. I'm not on a team. But why would somebody push back on this?
That was made in 1987 between Sylvester Stallone and his half-sister, Tony Ann Felitti. One of the documents that I obtained was a draft of a verified complaint that was to be filed in U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York in 1987, indicating that Felitti was requesting a trial by jury and asking for damages in excess of $25 million. The statement, dated June 29, 1987, read in part that Felitti was bringing the action against Stallone for damages sustained as a result of his sexual assaults on her over an 8-year period from 1979 through 1987. According to the agreement, Stallone denied and continued to deny and dispute all the claims of wrongdoing. The action never made it to court. According to the documents I obtained, which were verified by a source close to the family, in addition to a lump sum of $2 million, Stallone agreed to pay Felitti $50,000 for medical bills and psychiatric care every year for the remainder of her life, in addition to monthly payments of $16,666. As part of the settlement agreement, secret audio recordings, allegedly conversations between Stallone and Felitti that could have bolstered our claims of abuse, had to be destroyed as part of the settlement agreement. Tony Ann Felitti succumbed to lung cancer in 2012. I also obtained a copy of the $2 million check that was paid to Tony Ann Felitti. My story was published by the Baltimore Post-Examiner in September of 2015. In 2016, I obtained from a police source a copy of the 12-page 1986 Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department police report indicating that Sylvester Stallone and his then bodyguard Michael DeLuca were suspects in a possible sexual assault of a 16-year-old female at the then Las Vegas Hilton Hotel.
Where is the advocacy for that girl? Why would you lie on this man who literally has covered the story about Stallone's half-sister, whoever that was, and there's a settlement there, whatever. But why would you? It's just not normal for someone to try to smear the man. I mean, look at his background. I mean, in this video, you're going to see pictures of him at the end. He's on Tucker Carlson show. He's on so many different shows. He's got over 350 posted articles. He's praised for some of his writings that he's done on some, I think it's an Oklahoma school shooting or something like that. But why would this guy, Nick the Hat, decide to smear this? It absolutely means that you're phony. You're not an advocate for Sebastian Rogers. You're not an advocate for kids. Where's your green hoodie theory in this? No, you tried to smear this dude, make him look crazy, and write up all types of bogus shit. Why? That's weird. That makes you weird. It makes you weird. This is one of the guys say, man, this is crazy, man. And this guy, this is so weird to me, people. Weird to me. This is very weird. This is very, very strange behavior. I mean, as if ordering prostitutes on your neighbor and then calling the cops on them is not weird enough.
The report I obtained had the names of the victim and other persons who were interviewed by the police redacted. The source who gave me the report did not identify any of the names to me. I knew the copy of the report to be genuine as I interviewed a police source who was familiar with the investigation. Through my investigation, I located both the victim and other persons who had knowledge of the incident. I interviewed the victim, who is now a 46-year-old woman. The details of what happened to her, as she relayed them to me, corroborated what I had read in the police report. She gave me permission to publish her story with the caveat that I keep her name secret. I honored her request. The Baltimore Post-Examiner published my story in February of 2016. Keep in mind that the police report was filed at the time the incident occurred in 1986.
So if you can slow this down, I'm about to drop his link in the chat. I highly recommend you. It's also in my description box, and you could go to my description and just tap him. I tagged him. His name is Doug Poppa Podcast. He's got a little over 5,000 subs. This is very interesting. It's a 50-minute, it's almost an hour long. But I paused it. If you zoom in right now, he not only has the court documented receipts on, there's things retracted on it, crossed out. He's beyond done his homework. The only thing I would criticize about it, I guess, and that's, I'm not even criticizing it, but if you're watching me screen share this right now, the only thing I would say is he could have slowed it down a little bit. That's just me being picky as a creator or me editing or whatever. If he would have slowed it down, you'd be able to see the receipts better. But make no mistake, they are all there. Everything he's saying. Here's the link in the chat. Copy and paste it for later. And it's also in my description box. Very, very important. You guys have a full, in-depth, detailed look at the entirety of the situation.
And the victim never publicly spoke about it until I made contact with her over 30 years later. In 2017, Alan Butterfield, a journalist with the UK-based Daily Mail, contacted me and stated he wanted to do a follow-up story to the one I had done the previous year. Butterfield requested a copy of the report, which I provided to him. Butterfield independently vetted the police report on his own, as one would expect any reputable journalist to do. The Daily Mail published their story, including a copy of the report that I had provided to them, and placed their watermark on the report. The Daily Mail reported in their story that retired Las Vegas Metro Police Department Detective Sergeant John Simolovich, who was head of the sexual assault unit at the time the incident happened, confirmed that the copy of the police report that I had given Butterfield was in fact a true copy of the original police report. In 2017, I was also interviewed by KTNV 13 Action News in Las Vegas about the story I had authored. They also requested.
So Kelly, I don't know what you mean by that. In this video, I don't know what that means, but I'll rewind back here in a minute. I just want, he's going through what he was working on, what he posted and all this. And then look at this. All those are his awards. Here, look, he's on, that's 4 different news channels he's on, all these articles written about. There's a lot of his undercover work, state prosecutor. This is very long. It's very interesting. But like I said, he's been on he's done a lot of media. Where are we at right now? 25 minutes. So for you, Kelly, that's who I was just reading. Well, what I say, 25 minutes. Let me go back here just for a second. Let me play this. This is also interesting. Here's to your question, Kelly. Let me find it real fast.
27 for Saturday, November 19th, 2022. IOU. He's also known or was known as Nick the Hat.
Here we go.
On this fire, who is currently incarcerated in the Pennsylvania Department of Corrections. Let's take a look at this guy's criminal history here for a second. Audio podcast people, let's take a look at this guy here on this incriminate another. Okay, back up over there. Okay, in December of 2015, he pleaded guilty to possession of a controlled substance. Apparently, he didn't learn a damn thing from his 2015 charges, because on October 21st of 2021, Nick the Hat was found guilty after a 3-day trial on a slew of criminal counts.
So this was all resolved in January 2022. What he's about to say now, this should answer your question, which is also interesting to me. January of 22, these things were going to be resolved. I believe conspiracies in there. I don't know exactly all he was charged with. We're going to find out right now. Well, excuse me, convicted of. But my point is, in 20, everybody has a past. I understand that. But 2022, how long has Sebastian been missing? Am I wrong if I say 9 months? Let me go to the chat real fast. How long is it? And God forbid if I get that wrong. I'm asking because I'm not 100% sure. I know it's around that. Is it 9 months? How much am I off? Somebody, anybody? Almost 10 months. Oh, I was close. Okay, almost 10. Okay, I was really close. So we're going to say just over 9 months, almost 10. Okay, how about this? We'll go with 9. Well, no, it's important how long he's really been missing. But for this example, we're going to use 9 months. January of 2022. If we roll back now 9 months, that would be what? March of 24. You guys are getting where I'm coming from. Passes are past, but right around the corner is right around the corner. Anyhow.
Tampering with public records / information, forgery after writing, forgery uttering forged writing, and unsworn falsification to authorities, forged altered document. In January of 2022, he pleaded guilty to other charges of theft of property, receiving stolen property, sell offensive weapon, and conspiracy. Conspiracy.
That is interesting, isn't it? Isn't that interesting? I can remember what this RICO case involves. You know, RICO charges, I believe they were formed from Rudy Giuliani and the mafia. I could be wrong on that. However, they're formed on conspiracy because you can get conspiracy is so easy to get charged with, but it's interesting. If we just think about that terminology and the events here that we're witnessing here on YouTube. I don't know who all is in trouble with the RICO situation. And it amazes me no one's covered this. I saw a couple people in comments, and I was looking on my phone a minute ago. I've been waiting for someone to cover this. I know for a fact people know about this, because if I jump over here to these comments, it tells me everything I need to know. That's why I almost didn't do this. But I'm like, you know what? Even if somebody covered it, they're not doing it like I'm doing it. Also, there's something I definitely want to put in on this whole thing, because I've been covering these paid agitators. But, you know, I do know on that RICO thing, from what I know on YouTube, I think the lady Granny's watching is what is that? Is one of the main, people there on the flip side of the RICO suit. And I don't even know if she has I have no idea. I don't know her like that. But I said this a long time ago. A judge is going to have a field day with that as far as throwing it out. Look, man, I want to say this about that thing. I think it's good that families get involved legally when they're getting harassed and stuff like that on YouTube. I am 100% for it. I'm just not for the intimidation on speech. This is YouTube, right? This is YouTube. We are allowed to talk about whatever we want. You should do it responsible. You should do it, with integrity and all that stuff. That's common sense, right? But I'm not for people like taking your speech. I'm not for that at all. But I am for families having it. They should, man. Absolutely. I like the protection orders with the Proudfoots. Look, I'm trying to help the Wells as much as I can and follow that exact example, because from what I'm seeing, it's working. And as of recently, we've been mashing the gas. But it's not for some creator to threaten other creators and say that this is what you can and cannot talk about. But if a judge tells you haven't been responsible in talking about this, and at this point you can't do it anymore, it's a whole different ballgame. A whole different ballgame. That's what I'll say about that. But my point to it is, man, this is around the corner. Like, this is one of the main guys with that thing. And let's be honest, creators are afraid to talk about anything because they're intimidated. And that's very weak-minded. And creators need to stand up and start using their free speech. Don't be intimidated. I mean, for God's sakes, this poor girl. She's not a little girl anymore. This is a long time ago, people. Well, no, this video is 2 years ago that we're viewing. But what he was working on, was an older case. But he was protecting the girl's name, her identity, and all that. And here comes this asshole trying to smear his work, smear his, you're doing more than attacking him. If you're making him look crazy, who else is helping her? Imagine going up against a celebrity like Sylvester. No comparison or nothing, but I remember when I was first coming over here, speaking out on like a Molly Golightly before she was canceled. She had like a big channel, a lot of support, right? A lot of people. And I had like a little channel, right? In comparison. And I remember trying to get my truth out, and my message would get shut down so bad because these people would come over and they'd overpower my comments and they would out comment my supporters. And it was very frustrating having to fight that battle. And this is not a comparison at all. But in comparison, imagine that's just YouTube comments, right? Imagine trying to fight somebody who's way wealthy. Man, and this guy, wow. But he's all about Sebastian.
And now let's take a look at some of the news headlines from 2019 and 2021. Subject of Action News investigation charged with fabricating racist email. Pennsylvania man Nicholas Hatzoff-Stathow busted for impersonating journalist. Nick the Hat, guilty on all charges. Mountain of evidence paid off for prosecutors.
Yes.
Journalist at center of racist email scandal found guilty.
So,
fake journalist convicted of elaborate forged email scheme.
So I'm going backwards. Again, I'll drop this. It's in my description already. I want to go back to where we were 25 minutes in. I was just answering the question. Again, let me just get the spot real fast. Let me catch up on my comments real fast, and we'll continue this. Yeah, play nice. Very good comment. One in the chat, do me a favor. One in the chat, if what I'm telling you, showing you, what you're listening to, viewing, if it's new information. 2 in the chat, if you've heard it before. This is important to me. Hey, Christina. They have frightened people from talking about by threatening lawsuits, and it's just nonsense. Exactly. I mean, imagine somebody literally with all type of fraud and fraudulent this and fraudulent that and racism this and ordering prostitutes here. And if I was Granny's watching, I'd tell my lawyer, hey, can you subpoena Doug Poppa to the stand, sir, please? For testimony? I mean, Jesus Christ. Just saying. Oh, and with that being said, Hey, man, how are you? I'd like to help you get your truth out regarding the character Nick the Hat, who tried to smear you on your articles on Sylvester Stallone you spoke about a few years ago on your YouTube channel. After listening to your episode and following what he has been caught in as far as the lies, ongoing lies within the Sebastian, with the dog, the bounty hunter in the missing people case, I'm pretty sure he's a paid agitator, right along with a few of his friends I've exposed in the past. Thank you. I haven't been following him. Had several messages from various people alleging wrongful conduct by him. I told them to contact his parole officer should they have any credible information that he is involved in nefarious goings on. I am involved with too many investigations here in Las Vegas to cover that dirtbag. Appreciate the support. Thanks for reaching out. Absolutely no problem. And I do understand because he is a shitbag. Lots are just finding your work. And as of recent, and I just know you definitely have support. And thank you for your service, sir. That's how you treat a veteran. That's how you speak to a veteran. You don't smear the truth. You don't shit on their work, especially when they're defending a minor who's been. I don't have words for that, people. I don't have words for that. I don't have words for that. I don't have jokes for that. I don't have a criticism of that. I don't know what to say to that. I don't know what to say about someone who's harassing their neighbors by ordering prostitutes to their house and then calling the law on them. This is not my opinion. This is not a joke. This is not a parody. This was testimony in open court. This was open testimony in open court. But at least I could see the people in the bushes now with red faces that go like this. But at least he's trying to find Sebastian Rogers. Yeah. 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 It's literally what happens when I read those comments. Like that's you just got it in real time. Let's go back to this point.
Police Department Detective Sergeant John Simolovich, who was head of the sexual assault unit at the time the incident happened, confirmed that the copy of the police report that I had given Butterfield.
Then, Nikki, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you.
The original police report.
Hello, Missy.
In 2017, I was also interviewed by KTNV 13 Action News in Las Vegas about the story I had authored. They also requested a copy of the report, which I provided to them. They also independently verified the report. Here is an audio excerpt of the November 2017 KTNV news report.
Celebrities have stayed at the hotel and casino that's now known as the Westgate. Tonight, though, we're taking you back to 1986 when it was the Las Vegas Hilton. That's when police investigated an alleged sexual assault involving a 16-year-old girl and a major Hollywood star, Sylvester Stallone. After more than 30 years, those allegations are just coming to light. 13 Action News reporter Brian Callahan is live near the Westgate with more on why that case never moved forward. Brian.
Well, Steve, the now 31-year-old report is from when Stallone was filming a movie here at the hotel that was then known as the Hilton. The 16-year-old at the center of the investigation telling police she was invited up to his 27th floor room after hanging around the set for several days. Disturbing allegations. That's how those who have read the 30-year-old Metro Police report describe the allegations against Sylvester Stallone. Doug Poppa uncovered the report more than a year ago. The reports obtained by Poppa span 3 days and detail a sexual relationship between the 16-year-old, Stallone, and the star's bodyguard, with the 16-year-old telling detectives that Stallone told her, quote, they were both married men and that she could not tell anybody about the incident, and if she did, that they would have to beat her head in. The teen declined to press charges repeatedly, despite detectives noting that she was extremely emotional. Years later, Poppa says she's still dealing with those emotions.
So literally, this is a news clip about Poppa, who's investigating what you just heard Oh, it goes on. Look at this. I'm going to scroll back so we get the severity of what I'm trying to show here. But I'm going to skim through this, right? I'm going to skip forward a little bit. Let's go. I'm just going to ghost it. What's this about?
Condon, who handled the habeas corpus hearing, made the Loudoun County Board of Supervisors.
There's Doug Poppa on Newsmax TV on something 13. Four different things.
Dulles District. I know that sheriffs in Virginia.
Look at the bottom right. Criminal investigator, former law enforcement officer, U.S. Army military police veteran, and his other credentials are blocked out by that little thing.
Are damn near in the same class as Congress.
Who does that?
An excerpt from his article has been fired for that too, which says a lot about the way in which this disclosed key evidence at Cartersville City cop named Serpico.
So what I'm not going to play is Nick decides to smear him about his marriage, say that he's a wife beater and basically a womanizer and everything that would make a man look bad. Doug does not even play. So he went and got his divorce records and proved everything to be incorrect. I'm not going to play that. I don't think he needs to prove that, because let's just rewind. So there's this guy who's a journalist. He's covering this celebrity who did alleged essay on a minor. Okay. Who in their right mind smears that work? Who? What would his marriage have anything to do with that? It's so weird to me. But he does clear it, though. He does clear it. But I just want, look at this. Let me just skim through. Look at this. So here he is. He's going on. The dude has he's been around the block, man. He's been doing this a long time. Thank you, Doug. Thank you so much for your article and your continued devotion to finding out the real truth in all this. I lost my son in a massacre, and like so many others who lost family members or whose loved ones are suffering lifetime injuries, we just want accountability, recognition, and what went terribly wrong, and then the resolution so it never happens again. There's so much to learn, and we're disappointed in the PD considers this a closed case when all the pieces are still missing. We're entitled to know the truth. Thank you, and also to the Baltimore Post-Examiner for support for the victims. So this dude is like all the way for victims. And he gets, look at him. Here he is on Tucker Carlson. It just blows my mind that this asshole smears this guy. But why would he do it? That's where I'm stuck at, people. What is the motivation to smear Doug? Why? Doug says he doesn't like some of the things that he wrote. I don't know.
Which were verified by a source close to the family.
I don't know.
In addition to a lump sum of $2 million, Stallone agreed to pay Felitti $50,000
Let me go back
for
to the
medical
ones who are
bills
just coming in.
and psychiatric care
Let's hear it
every
one more
year
time.
for the
Sometimes you
remainder
listen
of
to
her life,
twice.
in addition to monthly payments of $16,666.
13 minutes
As part of the
44
settlement
seconds.
agreement, secret audio
Why would he
recordings,
do it?
allegedly
And this is
conversations
where
between
I wanted to
Stallone
cover
and
this. Why would he do it? So Doug says he didn't like some of the articles that he written. I don't know about that. And this is where it's at this part, this is my opinion. I do know that this guy who smeared Doug was friends with JLR and Betty. I do know Betty's dangerous. Yeah, we can laugh at her. We can clown at some of the dumb shit that she says and does, but she is dangerous. A lot of people, for some odd reason, I don't know, man. I can't tell people who to support and who not to support. So I'll just keep saying my opinion. JLR, same thing for me. Again, I showed you a little bit of Magnolia. Paid agitators is my opinion on why somebody would smear a man like this. But again, I don't know. And that's like the real mystery for me. So I'm going to go to the chat and see what you guys think. Read the room. But let's listen to this one more time.
Of money and other resources due to Hatshepsut's actions.
And then
In addition to prison time, Hatshepsut
and then I'll go back to the beginning, some stuff that I haven't shown yet.
Pay for the cost of prosecution and have no direct or indirect contact with the probation office. He is not eligible for early release from prison, and Capuzzi indicated there would also be a restitution hearing in the future. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, why am I talking about this guy? Okay, well, because in July of 2018,
very important comment on the screen. So Carrie says, it pisses me off that Nick's probation officer and the FBI have allowed him to continue doing this. I wouldn't be in the least surprised if he's behind Sebastian's disappearance for publicity and money. Hey, here's the thing. Probation officers in YouTube, that's an interesting topic by itself. I've had people call my probation officer and flat out lie on me when I was on it. And look, man, anybody on YouTube can contact your probation officer and say anything. Look, true story. I got a call from my probation officer, and when I was on probation, just so you guys get the full context of what I'm about to say, they have like a lottery system where I never knew when a drug test, a urine sample was going to happen. I never knew. It's on a lottery system. And my probation officer doesn't even know either. She would just know that the day that I went, because I would have to go by a certain amount of time and all that, right? So she would get alerted when I would get alerted to make it sound easier. Anyway, I get a call one day. I'm at work, and it was a woman. She says, Matt, you got a minute? I said, yeah. She goes, you at work? I say, yes, I am. She goes, can you go outside? I say, yep. I already knew it was YouTube. And we've had quite a few YouTube conversations so far before this.
But she stopped calling you.
She stopped calling me because I was going through it with Avery at one point, and somebody called my probation officer and said a crazy thing. So she called me that time too. And I said, yeah, I said, can I ask you a question? Did the lady was it a man or a woman that called you? And she goes, it was a woman. I said, did she have a really weird, like 1 in a million voice? She goes, yeah, she did. I said, she's a complete fucking nutball. Here's a couple links of her. And she laughed, right? And no beef with Avery. I'm just, you did that. But anyway, this time I step outside and she says, look, I got a call that you were doing fentanyl, drinking and driving, and you were fighting with some girl and you kicked her out your car.
Me and went out on a date.
Yeah, you kicked Noelle out the car. You picked up some other girl. She goes, I'm gonna need to take a drug test. I said, okay. I said, okay. So I said, she goes, when's the last time that you took I said, when did you get this call? She says, 2 days ago. I said, oh, that's very interesting. She's like, why? I said, because yesterday I had a drug test. Did you get my results back? She goes, nope, not yet. She goes, you went yesterday? I said, yes, ma'am. I said, you'd think some of the fentanyl or alcohol would show, wouldn't you? I'm like, do you want to call Noelle and see if we were fighting or if I left her anywhere? She's like, no, I was afraid to call Noelle on this one. Because usually when the YouTube calls would come in, she would directly call Noelle because she knew I would get so pissed off. And then I would keep her on the phone and I would drill it into her that these people are nutbags. It actually helped our relationship. But regardless of the point, nothing happened at all, right? But people do call because of YouTube, okay? Probation officers are up on game about YouTube big time. And I'm telling you all this personal experience so you know. Now, back to your comment. JLR was on probation too. Here's where it's weird. I don't know this guy's probation. He could be on state. He could be on federal probation. I don't know what it is, right? And boy, oh boy, in that Sebastian Rogers group on Reddit, they give you the probation officer's name, the picture, the phone number, and they urge everybody to call. Holy shit. Do they?
Not even a fucking joke.
I'll show you in a second. But with JLR, there was something really weird with his probation officer.
He doxed him and her social security number out her ways.
I'm not going to tell you who told me this because the person is not even around to defend himself or alive. But there was a rumor. What was it, babe? Exactly.
It's not a rumor. It was documented. He put his social security number out for everybody to see.
His own probation officers?
His parole officer for his federal parole officer. Yes.
Listen, man, his probation officer wouldn't do nothing because I know for a fact he would hide behind that media thing or whatever, but there's some things that you have to look into. When you're on probation, you cannot have any police contact. If you get pulled over for a speeding ticket, it's okay, but you got to tell your PO. Any police contact. He would go and harass the Wells and stuff and all that, and there was police contact. Trust me. And the probation officer would never do nothing. I think he was intimidated of JLR. I think he was scared of him. I could really tell y'all a lot right now in this whole conversation, but I don't think I'll put it out for the internet. But my point is, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I know people have contacted this guy's. I've heard. I don't know. I don't even know what kind of probation officer he's on. But what?
It was federal parole from Arizona.
That's JLR. But this guy, I don't know what he would do. Has he? I don't know what he would do as far as like anything they can do. Like there, he's allowed to talk. He's allowed to have his opinion. What has he done? Maybe I don't know all the stuff he's done. I don't know. But I do know people have tried. There's no doubt POs get calls and don't believe it. Yeah. Federal probation is a little different though, especially. No, I understand your comment completely and get what you're saying. I just don't know what he
They were just scared. I mean, like, they didn't know what you have somebody that's completely unpredictable and they're doing shit right in front of your eyes just to shut you the fuck up. To be like, yeah, I told you I would, say I won't. You're like,
yeah, I don't know what he would do for. My probation officer would say this though. Check this out. Sometimes she'd be like, "Listen, you need to chill with YouTube for a little bit," and I'd get so pissed off. She would say, "You need to chill with YouTube for a little bit," and I would get mad because I'm like, "No, I'm allowed to talk. I'm allowed to do whatever I want." She just didn't want to deal with the pressure and stuff. And
they would be like,
yeah,
messages.
Yeah.
They would come in and her mailbox would be full, and it would be all about just stupid shit.
Yeah.
Same people, all about you, and she didn't want to fucking hear it no more.
I just don't know what really. I don't know what he had. When you're on probation, there's certain things you can't do. You can't drugs. You can't have police contact. Sometimes you can't leave the state. I don't know what his stipulations are. You got to go to your classes. You got to do this. You got to do that. I don't know what lines he crossed over to where, it could be something done. I don't know. I don't watch him. I don't support him. I don't like him. Definitely not after what I'm hearing on this. Never did, but this makes it even worse. 16-year-old girl, no advocacy. Smeared the man who's trying to get her something.
Nick the dirtbag, as I call him, who I never met, published a libelous article on his YC News website, trashing my reputation, my name, and my work history for decades. Apparently, he was upset with some articles I wrote on Sylvester Stallone that were published by the Baltimore Post-Examiner.
I don't know what that means. Apparently, he was upset. I don't know what that means. Doug might know more than we do. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I've never written or watched something and got so mad that I decide to go write fake news articles on somebody. I mean, but that's, only somebody who's not normal does that. I mean, I've also not ever ordered prostitutes at my neighbor's house and then called the police on them afterwards. Talk about waste of resources. Another YouTuber that's got harassment charges. Harassment charges with families with missing children. It's such a bad mix. It's such a bad cocktail.
Now that he is a convicted felon for attempting to ruin the reputation of others, I would say that he has destroyed his integrity. But that would be false, ladies and gentlemen, because Nick the Dirtbag can't destroy something he never had. I wonder if his fellow inmates in the Pennsylvania prison are aware of what racist piece of white trash he really is. I'm going to play an excerpt from episode 6 that I published on July 17, 2020, that deals with this guy and my rebuttal.
So I'm going to play this clip that he's got up, that he's about to play. Then I'm going to share his channel again, this episode again, and I would strongly urge everybody in the chat and everybody who watches this on the replay to please show the man some support. You're learning it here. I appreciate everybody's, hanging out with me on this Sunday afternoon, but hear his story, without me involved in it. Hear it straight through. Hear it. Let it rip, man. When you're driving, go to the store. When you're cleaning, clean around the house. Whatever. Maybe next when this live ends, play it then by yourself. Learn the whole thing. And no, and it just really rubs me the wrong way with the whole intimidation thing. And the green hoodie thing is very, very aggravating to me. So is the email thing. It's aggravating. Most aggravating of all is like in each case that happens here on YouTube, no matter what case it is, right? You get a swarm of new people that come in, and Sebastian Rogers brought a swarm of new people to True Crime YouTube from Facebook, from the Facebook groups, from everywhere. Okay. And they mingle in our community, which is awesome. But, but people, need to know, it's, you should know.
That's why I said important stuff like this should be repeated, like maybe once or twice a
Hate
year.
bullies,
Because we always have new people to hear things, and we need to make sure everyone always remembers and never forgets. And if they're new, they learn.
Shelby Lynn, I couldn't agree with you more. It's very hard for me to believe also, Lisa. Yeah, the harassing thing is weird because all I can think of, I didn't know that. When with Nick the Hat, I only knew myself of the affiliation with JLR, Betty, and the racist stuff with the probation officer, with the emails. That's all I knew about. Okay, and again, not that I'm excusing it, but in his defense, everybody has a past, and the racist thing was what was years ago. To learn about the prostitution thing, weird, man. It is weird to learn about the smearing this man for no reason. It's an ultimate contradiction. Like, you can't be all for Sebastian, who just turned 16 yesterday. She was 16. There's no advocacy for it. And the thing in 2022, the conspiracy, the fraud, JLR, another one, fraud, forgery. It's all weird, man. It's all weird. The weaponizing lawsuits, fraud, harassing. It's all very strange to me, man. It's very strange to me, man.
To his fake news story. And I mentioned this briefly, I believe, in episode 124, when I talked about Las Vegas blogger Michael Zahara, who was arrested by the Las Vegas Metro Police for terroristic threats. And you'll see how this all meshes in when I play this video. I will have links to several news articles from media outlets that covered Nick the Dirtbag story in the description section of this video,
Nick the Dirtbag,
as well as links to articles I authored on Sylvester Stallone that were published by the Baltimore Post-Examiner at the time.
Very important. I like this. He's a man of receipts, old Doug. Look at old Doug. Links. Link City. Link. Everything he says. Look at all these links in this description box. There's everything on articles on Sylvester Stallone. Links, dates with the links. Look at this. A man of receipts.
Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel of Truth and Consequences with Doug Poppa. Related to the Las Vegas Met, everything, I think, in a nutshell. Doug Poppa, which is similar to my actual Twitter handle. Refer to the screenshots for additional information. The Twitter page has photographs when I publish this.
All right, here we go. Listen to this part.
In an apparent attempt to undermine and malign my character and integrity, in December of 2019, a fake Twitter account was opened using my Twitter photograph and the Twitter address @OneDougPoppa, which is similar to my actual Twitter handle. Refer to the screenshots for additional information. The Twitter page has photographs of me that were taken from the internet, and also a photograph of Sylvester Stallone with the comment, quote, Doug Poppa is a liar and corrupt journalist / fake social influencer with zero credibility. Before reading his claims, get to know the gritty truth Doug hides. The Twitter page referenced the website, DougPoppa.com. I never had, nor do I currently.
Wow. I didn't even realize this. So the dude smears him on this. He writes fake articles about him, makes a fake Twitter up about it. Wow, dude. Wow.
We have any web page. The web page had the same photographs that were on the fake Doug Poppa Twitter account. The web page identifies me as Douche Poppa, then continues with the quote, disgraced ex-cop and admitted wife beater obsessed with Sylvester Stallone. Doug Poppa, an inside look at the man obsessed with Philadelphia icon Sylvester Stallone. Poppa was fired from the Loudoun County Sheriff's Department after illegally using police-issued equipment to set up surveillance on his wife before beating her.
Dude, that's crazy. He debunks everything with the wife at the end of this video. There was an active investigation about, I'll check it right now, about everything with the girl, and not only the girl, about Rocky's half sister, which she eventually sued him for she's got a settlement that's lifetime. She gets X amount per month.
The crazed man attracted the attention of Daily Mail, Huffington Post, The Washington Post, and other major publications after claiming to have insider info on Stallone, but his credibility was poorly vetted by the publications. Quote, public record of domestic violence, an unruly sovereign citizen puts false narrative on sheriff. My comment on this, it's untrue and complete BS. I'm not a disgraced cop, nor am I an admitted wife beater. Wow. I've been divorced for almost 35 years. I never beat up my wife. I'm not obsessed with Sylvester Stallone.
Wow. I just got an email. Thank you. Thank you. This website needs to be shut down. The lady that runs it lists Summer and Sebastian as deceased.
What the fuck?
It's called
Forward me that, please.
Let me look at it real fast.
Yeah, I know, but I need to get that to where it needs to go.
Cremated, specifically details unknown for Sebastian.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, that has to get.
Summer, burial details unknown. Wow. Oh, she wants money. What is this? Okay, we need to get this to the parents.
That, please.
All right, so
I need that to go to where it has to go now.
Yeah, forward it to you now.
Thank you. Sorry, I don't.
We're sending this to the
bitchy or bossy. That's just really fucking pissing me off. These bitches need to stop. And that goes for, I don't care if it's a dude or a chick. That's a bitch right there.
Sorry, give me 1 second. Okay. I'm actually going to send that to my wife right this second, who she will forward it over to the Wells private investigator. I appreciate that. Can you do me a favor? Any way you can send me a link to that? Did you send me a link to this? Yeah, but I don't know if that's exactly. Can you send me a link, babe? What's going on with this? Oh, okay.
Although I did author several articles on Stallone
Thank you
back
for
in
that.
2015 and 2016, and I never claimed to have insider info on Stallone. It was no claim, it was fact, and my stories are always vetted, as I will describe in a few minutes. This GoDaddy website originated from the Las Vegas area. That is all I can say at the moment on that. The Twitter page and website was shut.
Yeah, another creator's going over it. Okay, so that's good. If you could, I appreciate that. Don't know who it is, but hopefully they're doing a good job on it. So, I would show this, guys. I don't even know how to do it. It's basically a picture of Summer Wells and Sebastian, and it claims them to be dead.
Shut down a
They
few
want
months
money.
ago
It's very
by the
weird.
creators. Coincidentally, at the same time, an investigator for the Nevada Commission on Judicial Discipline was conducting his investigation.
So what you're seeing on the screen is the Twitter page got taken down, and then let me skip through a little bit more here.
Brought to the screenshots reads, quote, "Who is Doug Poppa, disgraced ex-cop and admitted wife beater obsessed with Sylvester Stallone?" When I became aware of that story in 2018, I contacted YC News.
This is the article that's written about Doug, who's covering the Stallone case with the girl. And here's your hit piece, people. Here's your hit piece.
Several times and told them to remove the story as it was untrue.
Obviously, the fake Twitter profile, when you go there, there's links to all the fake news links and all this.
True and libelous. It is still up to this day.
Wow.
The editor-in-chief and chief content officer is a guy by the name of Nick Hatsif-Statu, who is also known as Nick the Hat. I did some checking into the background of Nick the Hat.
Got his name on it right there, editor-in-chief. It said he's a self-proclaimed wife beater, this and that. That's crazy.
And discovered that, not surprisingly, I might add, that he's a convicted criminal. In 2015, he pleaded guilty in Delaware County, Pennsylvania court to harassment committed repeatedly in an anonymous manner and false report, falsely incriminating another,
So this is
and
what I
was
was
placed on probation,
I'll let this
according
part
to the
run.
court
Sorry.
records.
On my timestamp.
So much for the character and credibility of Nick the Hat. It doesn't end there, because obviously Nick the Hat didn't learn anything from his prior arrest and convictions. In the summer of 2019, Nick the Hat was in the headlines of the Pennsylvania media as follows, quote, "Nick the Hat arraigned on racist email hoax, other charges." Quote, "Delaware County District Attorney says man allegedly faked racist email from county employee and posed as New York Times and Good Morning America journalist." Quote, "Pennsylvania man Nicholas Hatsiafstu busted for impersonating journalist." Quote, "Man to stand trial on charges he forged email, published story claiming probation officer is a racist." Wow, can all that be true? Nick the Hat publishing false stories about people? Couldn't be. Quote, "Prosecutors said he has a rap sheet that includes using a burner phone to make prank phone calls, doctoring videos from rappers Ice-T and Snoop Dogg as false evidence, and using forged paperwork to obtain a vehicle license plate that identifies him as a journalist. I will identify him as Nick the Lion Dirtbag, who has zero credibility. According to Delaware County court records, Nick the Liar is facing 17 criminal counts, including felony charges of tampering with public records / information and forgery, altering writing. Good luck, Nick. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. You will be hearing from me again in the future. Obviously, Nick the Hat was not happy with the stories I wrote on Stallone, for reasons I do not know. Regardless, he targeted me and published an untrue and libelous story that he refuses to take down. If there is an attorney in the Philadelphia area who would like to contact me, feel free to do so.
Yeah, this is 2 years ago, man. He was looking for an attorney. I'm sure if someone would have covered this and it was out there, somebody would have jumped on this just to help him, at least. You know what I'm saying? But this is wild to me. It happened to a good dude too. I mean, this guy literally. This video is almost an hour long, people. He goes through he breaks down his divorce receipts. He every claim he debunks. It's crazy that he's asked Nick to take it down, and to this day he still has it up. You know, he's got his face involved everywhere you type Sebastian Rogers in. You know, he's saying, we're gonna get the person who's done this to Sebastian. We're gonna bring justice, this and that. What, you know, it's a simple question. Like, what about the justice for the girl? If anybody was bringing justice, if anybody was helping her at all, it was this man. And then you do this.
Well, because he was attacking Rocky. I mean, come on.
It's
How freaking stupid.
Take the thing down, man. That's just wrong. Let me show you guys really fast something. I'm gonna pause it there for a second. Let me just show you guys something. So here's the clip, right? Investigative journalist, U.S. Army vet, law enforcement officer, criminal investigator, United States Department of Homeland Security / Director of Security, and over 350 plus articles, and then it links off to the Baltimore Examiner. He's a legit journalist. It's wild. Why? I don't get it. I don't get it. I'll play if you want to miss man, then we'll catch some comments and then wrap it up, guys. Really blows my mind that nobody has
concerning a secret settlement agreement that was made in 1987 between Sylvester Stallone and his half-sister Tony Ann Felitti. One of the documents that I obtained was a draft of a verified complaint that was to be filed in U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York in 1987, indicating that Felitti was requesting a trial by jury and asking for damages in excess of $25 million. The statement, dated June 29, 1987, read in part that Felitti was bringing the action against Stallone for damages sustained as a result of his sexual assaults on her over an 8-year period from 1979 through 1987. According to the agreement,
Shelby, listen, in the future, man, send it to me. You know, I'd have been put it out. You know, months ago when the guy came to Sebastian Rogers' case, I spoke about it, you know, and I talked about the clip with the racist emails and stuff. I did a live about it. It was in my car. It was a fast live, but so I remember him. But yeah, man, that goes for all you guys. You know, something like this is out there and no one's covered it or something like that. Give it to white boy. You know, man, and no shame in my game. Let me know. Let Noel know. Let me know. Yeah, man.
Stallone denied and continued to deny and dispute all the claims of wrongdoing. The action never made it to court. According to the documents which were verified by a source close to the family,
you hear about this?
In addition to a lump sum of $2 million, Stallone agreed to pay Felitti $50,000 for medical bills and psychiatric care every year for the remainder of her life, in addition to monthly payments of $16,666. As part of the settlement agreement, secret audio recordings conversations between Stallone and Felitti that could have bolstered her claims of abuse had to be destroyed as part of the settlement agreement. Tony Anfaliti succumbed to lung cancer in 2012. I also obtained a copy of the $2 million check that was paid to Tony Anfaliti. My story was published by the Baltimore Post-Examiner in September.
So that's it, guys. Again, let me like that. Doug Poppa podcast. It is in my description box. I tagged him. I will share this out. Everybody, please show him some love. Hear this for yourself, unedited, unstopped, the truth. Don't, I do want to show you one more thing, because we were talking about it just a moment ago. Granny's in here. Granny, did you hear about this? Have you heard any of this? So let me do this real fast. Go back here. Where's it at? Here it is. This is going to be. I share this group stuff a lot. I like them. I like this group. It's just different than the Facebook groups and stuff. But where was it? I saw. So let me go to the home page type thing here. So you're gonna link me off somewhere else. Okay, so here it is. Can you guys see that? Yeah. Okay, so give me a second. So Seth has renewed his faith in law enforcement. Sebastian interview with that. It's funny because they always they talk about YouTubers and stuff in here. It's funny. They're like, man, I can't stand that dude Dolly. He clickbaits everything. It's funny as hell to see another platform talk about YouTubers. But here's what I was saying before. This is the parole officer. Nick the Hat, parole, putting out false information. Nick the bullshitter got caught again. Nick the bullshitter released the video and it doesn't even show the parking lot where the green hoodie guy is. Seth's live tonight. Nick, you're killing me. Make it too easy. Straight from the horse's mouth. So here's the post I found Doug on. So again, I shared this post last night on my community. Not this one, but that other one, and I was doing exactly what I just did. So I see straight from the horse's mouth. And it says, lately, Seth, Tony, Nick, the Hat, Dog, and BHB have been floating the unsubstantiated claim that Sebastian's disappearance is related to a custody dispute. Here, Seth confirms that it was him that told Sebastian he would need to wait a year to move in with him, so Sebastian could correct his behavioral issues. Timestamp 3550. So Sebastian living with Seth. Wait, this is not how I found this. Which post was it with Nick? Oh, here it is. This has got to be it. Nick is worse than I thought. How is he not back in prison again, or at least banned from social media? Yeah, this is unbelievable. I didn't realize the extent of Nick's hate crimes, or that he's going on a decade of conning people. He's on parole, not probation, for messing with people and their lives, and he's not hiding his fuckery and doing the exact same in missing child's case, and he hasn't been stopped yet. And then this is the link to Doug's thing. So I found it last night, right after I find that I make that post, and I couldn't believe that. I'm like listening to this with Noel. I'm actually getting ready to watch some UFC fights, and I'm like, did he just say they ordered prostitutes to the neighbor's house and then called the cops on them? No way. I had to rewind it. Oh, the audio cut off. I don't know what happened. I guess my audio cut off, guys. Sorry. How long was I muted? But yeah, it's wild, man. I just wanted to bring this to you guys' attention. Let me share this group as well. I don't know what link I'm about to drop in the comments. This might be to the last post that I showed, but it's going to be in that group. He sure did. Yeah, I didn't know that, Granny. It's crazy. I had never seen anybody cover this before. It's wild, man. I did not. This guy, Doug Poppa, man, has been through the ringer with this guy. And this is a very weird thing to me. This is a weird story. It's all weird. Like, I don't understand what the beef is about. He's covering essay on a 16-year-old girl. What is the big problem about this about? It's so fake to me. Them see him say, guys, we're gonna do it for Sebastian, the green hoodie guy. We'll bring justice. Dude, stop. Just stop. It's all fake, people. And I cannot sit quiet no more. I'm sorry about it. Just can't do it. He's from my area, white boy. He's caused a lot of harm. He also owes a man from New York $5 million for defamation. Holy shit. That makes sense because as Doug is telling his truth, he's sourcing like these different companies. I'm familiar with like At Night, but if that makes sense, if there's a judgment for that much money, he's setting up all these different things. You see what I'm saying? Because somebody can come at night for $5 million and put a judgment on that. But if you got more than one, you're beating the system. And of course, he's beating the system because he knows how to do it. Make sense? Yes. NC News. Yeah, that's exactly what he said. Okay. Man, paid agitator. It's very strange, people. That's really my thing on this as well, the paid agitator part. I don't know, Doug's. I have no idea what the reasoning for this is. We can only guess and speculate. But people, I knew who he hung out with. I knew what they did. I know what I witnessed and saw. Paid agitation, man. Paid agitation. Again, this guy, Nick, just like BHB, just like JLR, all come from the political realm, the political space, right? And now they're over here. And that's a joke in itself. I just put a video up. I'm so pissed it only has like 600 views. I made a community post this last week. It is JLR. He sued Donald Trump. This is not my opinion. This is not a parody. This is not a joke. This is court documented receipts about how Trump porked his hiney hole and took his virginity. Dead serious, people. There's receipts. Porked his hiney hole, took his virginity, and all this other type of weirdo shit. That's what he sued Trump for. But he did it in 2016 when Trump was just coming onto the scene. But let him tell it. He's all MAGA this, MAGA that. Man, that's all I had to see. I'll tell you what. Every patriot group in the world, on every alt platform that I belong to, I share that video. It's literally embedded in my clipboard on my computer and my phone. Because when I join new groups, hey, JLR, that big YouTube channel, fraud. Check this out. Trump porked his hiney hole. I put it out there for everybody to see it because I want him to keep going on all these rallies. You know what I'm saying? And let man, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what a real patriot might do hypothetically and for educational purposes. But yeah, man, it's out of control, people. I sure do. That's a promise. Yep. Yeah, it's real. It's weird. All very strange, all very weird. It seems to me that people knew about this, but didn't talk about it because I don't know. I can understand Granny not being able to talk about it. Anybody who else maybe is in this thing, but like I said in the comments of that video, there's a lot of creators in there, and it was interesting to me that no one's brought it up or reviewed it or whatever. That's I don't know, man. I don't know, but that's all I got, guys, today. I just wanted to bring it to your attention. So be aware, be alert, and be up on game, man. Use your head, man, with these people, with these missing people cases, man. You know, use your head, man. Use your judgment. The best thing to do on YouTube and this for a viewer or a creator, man, your judgment, man, on YouTube is good, because you know how these streets are, man. They could be toxic and a lot of backstabbing, a lot of everything, right? You got to go with your gut, man, and that's what I do as I navigate these streets myself. I always use my gut, and if I question something, I'll run it by the well, because she's very skeptical of the streets herself, you know, or some good subs or whatever, you know, and I try to do it like that. But hey, man, never be afraid to ask me any questions or my thoughts on something, because I don't hold my tongue like that. And please, man, for the love of God, next time you see something like this, give it to old white boy. The worst that's going to happen is I not cover it, but that's already not happening anyhow. I probably will. Appreciate all the new members. Shelby, I didn't even see that. Thank you. Again, I'm going to drop this one more time. This is going to be, so this is the Sebastian Rogers group on Reddit. I use it a lot, guys. It's actually pretty good. It's just something different. And this is going to be old Doug's video. He's got one on also, it's in my description box if you're watching the rewind on this for my replay gang. If you're coming in late, if you're catching the replay, no problem. I got you covered. I got old Doug tagged in the description box, and his video is there too. Please support the man, listen to his story, and let him get his truth out. We got to clear the smear. We got to clear the smear. And if you do go by and you do happen to subscribe, support, watch, view, whatever, tell him old white boy sent you, and tell him that he has support. Because remember, this is a vet. This is retired LE. He served our military, Homeland Security. This is somebody, man, that gets respect. You don't do that to somebody like this, especially what they were doing for somebody who is defenseless, a child, going up against a ginormous celebrity with all types of money. It's just wrong. It's weird. It's strange. All mixed into one, man. But this is what I got for you guys. You guys got to take it from here and do what you do with it. All right, y'all. Smash the like on the way out, man. Much love, y'all. Y'all be safe, man, and be smart around these streets. No problem. Barbara, my suggestion is rewind it. I'm glad that you're here, though. Rewind it. This one's important. Y'all be safe, man. Oh, wait.